Hi. Okay, wait. I'm actually not completely ready yet to do it. Wait, back it up. Wait. I'm backing up some more right here. Back it up right there. Back it up right here. Boop, boop, boop. But not too much boop. And then boop. And then boop. And then boop. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hi guys. What's going on? Hello. I'm gonna see my eyes. Yeah, boom, boom. Obviously you can't really see like it pop because unfortunately well, this is my laptop doing its thing, so it's kind of just like messing up. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Yeah, but I like it. I'm gonna get better at this. I haven't done makeup in a long time. Like makeup seriously in a long time, like the designs. So I've done like little things here and there, but when it's come to like more intricate stuff, I'm just like, yeah, yeah. I wanted to come see. Pardon me, it's 8. I wanted to come see you guys. Come see you guys. I wanted to see you guys, or you see me, whatever, future you and stuff like that. Because this is the morning of, well, the afternoon of me talking to you guys earlier in reference to the stuff that I had showed you on my phone and on my accounts regarding my abusers and the allegations against me. So obviously what's happening or what happened for a very long time immediately after or and during I was talking with you guys, they were victimizing themselves. My abusers were victimizing themselves and trying to do spin tactics in order to escape accountability and also to avoid any type of repercussions for their actions. Is that the Amazon? Okay, but he's turning the corner, so packages not for me. Packages not for me. All right. I wanted to, pardon me, because I ate, like I'm eating chocolate almonds, chocolate, hold on, thinly dipped dark chocolate almonds. Like, so it's not like chocolate coated, um, in the sense where it's like the fudgy material, something you would see in like an M&M. It's more of a dusted, it's dusted with cocoa. It's so nice, actually. I believe I showed you guys like this type of snack, and it's really nice. I just love it, and that's all. It's not the thick, gooey chocolate covered stuff, and I love chocolate covered stuff. Okay, Goobers is my life. I love Goobers like nobody's business. I should have got some water. Okay, I this is gonna be a long video, so if you want to pause this or whatever, watch this at a later time. Maybe like on your ride to somewhere. Actually, Sunday's like a perfect time. It's a lazy Sunday. Oh, speaking of which, I have a sunflower. I bought myself some sunflowers. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. They're so cute. I used to love taking dandelions, picking them up, and having them kiss my cheek. Like, it's so cute. Oh my gosh. Like that will literally boost your mood. If you take a flower and have it kiss your cheek, it really will like make you happier. It's so, oh my god, like when as a kid I used to really love it. Like the forehead one. Forehead one is nice, but if you have it touch your cheek, so freaking cute. And definitely like lifts your mood. I used to do that all the time until one day I saw a dog urinate on it. So I was just like, I'm just gonna stick to the flowers and bushes because just avoid putting my face onto something like that. I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna stick to flowers in a higher place. Um, but if you know that the area is good, sanitary or something like that, give it a go. Give it a whirl. All right, man. Let's get into it. So, where do we want to start? I said I was gonna do some share with you some of the content from my my Facebook, and I will. I just want to make sure that I'm kind of doing it correctly in the right order. I mean, I'm also a little still sleepy. Uh, Um, life, man, life. It's very creepy that there are people out there in the world that just want to fuck with you unprovoked. Whether they want to excuse it off as natural or not, it's just like it kind of works against you. Kind of works against you, like kind of working against yourself. Kind of like I know I can do better. But I really am cute today. Like this camera is not doing me justice. Like if you actually do think that I'm cute now, like you should see me first time. So hello and goodbye. I am the noise. So yeah, boom. Yeah, you know what I'm thinking. I bet you know what I'm thinking. Okay, hold on. They're like every time. Maybe one day I might do a remix. A better time like the present. Give me a beat. Can't remember the song I was singing, but here we are doing the damn thing. I think just singing still now. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Okay, better. It's nice. It's nice. Pardon me. It's actually supposed to be like supposed to be like my little fireplace where I have like candles and stuff like that. Uh-huh. 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 Cute. Okay, here we go. So yes, yay, and we're in the place. La la la. So, all right. This is also material for people who will be or possibly already are, targets. This is also a more, I guess, a more pressing matter. My pressing matter is also beneficial to people who go through, or deal with narcissists, very controlling parents, the helicopter parents, and things of that nature. So it's not just about me. Like I'm over here giving you gold. I mean, that's one of the benefits of why people are watching me anyway. That's something I wanted to mention when I started to do this skit, because there's just like different people that are, very upset right now, that I'm speaking out because I've been speaking out, but it's just that, I'm providing more receipts and I'm being straight from the source. Like you guys have had my patience, you know, I've given you everything in regards to the opportunity to have justice, lock up certain people because it's not a new thing. I've seen you in the papers and in society. I've seen you arrest people who've done either, yeah, very relative things that my abusers have done. And even historically, some of the things that have been done, universally to other people has been seen with a negative view. So they have been either arrested or worse. So for people nowadays in the modern age to be supportive and provide all these excuses for my abuse is really telling, especially when they don't have that same kind of viewpoint when it's them or somebody who they actually care about. So yeah, this is very racial, and they are abusers too. But let's go into it. So some of the things I was hearing from people. Let's play for you. Bro, I'm telling
like seeing the higher wisdom and just like moving forward, allowing the emotions to come through. Like you might have went through something that the owl took you through to kind of up level your psychic senses in a way. Um, and it might have felt like you made a mistake a lot of the times here because it was very confusing. But it's bringing in that wisdom so that you can do the things that you aspire and bring that into the world. You're protected here. Spirit's got you. You're taking note of the lessons. You're moving through it. There is some self doubt here, but I feel like that's what's being like sort of maintained. The more you notice it, the more you notice the self doubt with your awareness, the less that it starts to come in because the awareness sees it, right? So then you don't have to entertain those thoughts because it's seen, you see it.
But the gist of this is this woman was talking about it won't play. The first one won't play. I shit you not. Wait, hold on. Uh, so I'm playing. I'm putting the like playing this. It's not playing. Oops. Now it's doing 0. Ooh, they didn't. Oh, okay. Hold on. It's not playing. It's not playing, and it had shut down. It had shut off. Well, the woman was saying that I needed to that the mediation and stuff like that, like there was a loss in communication, a loss in translation, and a miscommunication, excuse me, between me and my abusers. But there's nothing to miscommunicate in regards to the disrespect that I endured and that I went through. Okay. My abuse has been comparable and exactly like those in history. So it's totally a smack in the face and an insult to my intelligence when people are telling me like, oh, well, you just misinterpreted our abuse towards you. You putting cameras into my home, criticizing me on what time I wake up, what I do if I wanted to just watch TV. You guys trying to ostracizing me. There's nothing to misunderstand about you putting your bodily fucking secret like secretions in my food. That's disgusting. There's nothing. I have photos of you guys putting nasty things. Well, no, I have photos of nasty things in my food. Let me be specific. And learning later, years later, that it was encouraged. Not only just encouraged, but it was done at the bequest of people who were close to me. Disgusting. So while you're like smiling in my face, you're over here literally wanting me dead. You still want me dead. Of course, I want the same at this point for you, but it's just like I really, really, really needed to put this out there. It's disgusting because we're just. So on my website, I have just a few of the things listed called cruel and unusual punishments. So it's just showing some of the things that they've done. So exploitation, which is you watch me, so you're going to benefit off of like either ideas. You want to be a life coach, so you want to criticize me in order to keep going. Like you like my work ethic, so that's beneficial to you in order to motivate your potential customers or your current customers. It can even help you personally to keep going for whatever goal, and then for you to try to hold me back or delay things in the background, you know that's one of your tactics. It's the big, what is it, the big fish in a small pond. Like the only people that we're seeing really a benefit to that are the people who are very lazy and want to take advantage of other people, and it seems to be the wave. Again, last night I was talking about how a person who's non-black was making a comment in regards to like an Asada Shakur quote, and he was just saying, well, like all people who are oppressed actually just want to, like they want to participate in the punishments too. Like no one's really like a victim, which is crazy because at this point in time when I had more than other people around me, like you wouldn't find me in a position where I was trying to bully people, where I was trying to bully people, or you wouldn't try to find me trying to oppress anybody. If it was a complete and total converse of that, complete and total opposite. Which is why, again, that initially that shock that so many people were trying to exploit me and doing all this malicious stuff is just really like, it's insane and it's wild, very archaic and disgusting. Like actually not even archaic, because I don't see somebody that's relatively close to you doing that shit. Like it just seems really boy. Okay, so exploitation, sex and human trafficking is another way to exploit me. Bam, bam. Hmm. Hmm. Here's a here is a screenshot I did of the United Nations. This is not just like an expose kind of situation. This is just me showing you material from the website. Something I screenshotted. So human trafficking has many forms. These include exploitation in the sex, entertainment, and hospitality industries, and as domestic workers or enforced marriages. Victims are forced to work in factories, on construction sites, or in the agricultural sector without pay or with an inadequate salary, living in fear, violence, and often in inhumane conditions. Some victims are tricked or coerced into having their organs removed. Wow, I don't even know how that happens. Children are forced to serve as soldiers or to commit crimes for the benefit of criminals. Now, I put bingo because like these are the things that I've literally been under the conditions of, which is sexual exploitation. And by sexual exploitation, it doesn't mean that I sleep with people. It means that people have been selling my naked body on porn sites and getting their rocks off. People have been literally to their benefit, because I've been celibate for a long time. Um, and another thing which is really disgusting is they've hired people within my community, if I've visited someplace, in order to try to like befriend or be in a relationship with me. They've convinced people who I've had relationships in the past to participate with them based off on lies. And if you like, if somebody in a suit and works in the government is telling you something that's lies in order to try to like I guess hurt or try to be like a spy or something like that, they'll try to make it seem cool, like, oh yeah, like you can be a spy. You're helping America, son, by sleeping with somebody, hurting her feelings, teasing her, telling her, like stealing from her, or giving people like sharing the password to her stuff. Like that's really gross. That's extremely fucking gross. This is not sleeping with me, because obviously if you're going to sleep with me, then that's also this like sexual exploitation. Again, I don't know where the fucking cameras are, but that's sexual exploitation. That's porn. People who are strangers off the street, people who work at Sonic or Burger King, McDonald's, anywhere, a person who works at the gas station can easily see my ass and titties without my permission, and the money goes to the government and my abusers. Disgusting. So there's no misunderstanding about that. No misunderstanding. It's not like that's wow. Forced labor. Forced labor. You're criticizing me in order to be your slave. So you'll steal money from me. You'll break my things in order to make me spend money on it. So like you'll slash my tire, you'll crack my window, which I have photos of. You'll do those things. Come into my house when I'm at work, mess things up there, antagonize my cats, and hurt them. Or talk to establishments and departments within the city to have them go along with you because you work in the government, right? You have pull. So then you're able to do things even more malicious, hike up certain hike up certain bills. That's been done. If you break in my house and you utilize things, that will hike up certain bills, or you just break things. All of a sudden there was like this random person that came by and wanted to like inspect the outside of our community, and he was saying, hey, like your grass is too high, so now you're gonna have a fine. I'm like, are you kidding me? There's literally I reported one of my neighbors taking a crap on people's yards all the time, but nothing has happened. But all of a sudden, and there's also other people who have like high grass and worse, but you wanted to try to come for me. There were a lot of things that were very extremely suspicious that was going on, and a lot of things that I would do inside my house if I wanted to walk around naked, or if I wanted to just dance or something like that. Immediately after, there would be some type of triangulated information that will come back to me, and I'm like, that's obviously disrespectful, and that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to provoke some type of emotion from me to make me uncomfortable. There's no misunderstanding about that. Absolutely none. I don't need you in my life. I don't want you in my life. You don't fix or you don't fit my aesthetic, basically. Like, you can't fix this. The only thing you can do is just make it stop into, for justice and reparations. Other than that, like, you can't undo what you've done. You really can't. I can't buy back the years of being ostracized. I can't buy back the years of being abused, of you paying doctors in order to give me misinformation because you fed me nasty behind stuff that made me sick, and you want to say, oh, well, maybe it's this, that, here, and the third. The weather is really bad. This, that, here, and the third is really bad. But then me and somebody else will eat the same food and we're both sick. Like, it happens to be okay with other things, but that particular thing is just like, it's just, Or I would say this, there's been some stuff that's been around the house, sprinkled around, and my cats, they go everywhere. So I've seen them dust it in white stuff, and it's not just regular dust. Because if you touch it, like it would make you itch. And I've had like these horrible, painful, like acne that came like here, and like on my skin. And it really messed them up too, because they started like scratching uncontrollably, and one of them started like bleeding. So I cleaned the house from like top to bottom. And one time I also had like hired a cleaning lady a long time back. That was a long time back. Like, I'm telling you, like a super long time, like years ago. But then the next day it would come back. And I'm like, dust doesn't happen like that. Okay, you feel me? Like, this is and the thing is that they had it out in the open, and now it's like somewhere around the house. So these things are obviously done with malintent. And if I come home, I would see certain figures that I know I don't move. I keep things in every, like, everything has a place and a space. Certain things would be faced like to the wall. If I have a statue, it would be faced to the wall. If I had like a little plushie that had its little back thing, it would be faced to the wall. a TV channel or something like that. It would be on something else. It's I did just mostly a lot of notating and a lot of taking videos and screenshots because I'm just like, I know I'm not crazy. Obviously, I'm very astute and aware. This is not my first time when people have tried to gaslight me. So hindsight's 2020. It was during the time when people were initially, hired and willing for clout or whatever in order to gaslight and hurt me. So I'm just like, oh, okay. Because I could just tell by people's like, response and their energy. I'm just like, oh, okay. And I'm just notating it because I don't like people trying to insult my intelligence. Like, I see what you're doing. And then I will either cut you off. Yeah, I cut you off and I change my number, or I just like, I won't frick with you. Like, I won't fuck with you. There's so many things that people have done in order to try to intimidate me, whether it's through social media or offline. They would, with a woman that's living by herself with two cats, they would do things to imply like somebody's gonna like break down the door and rape me. And it's been done for years. Like, these threats and whatnot like that. Alluding to like, oh, they're gonna get into a car accident, oh, this person's gonna die. People have a really possessive nature and still feel entitled to my energy because being exploited that's their bread and butter. And for some people who don't get paid, they have an emotional kind of ego where they feel like very they get their rocks off. Some people get their rocks off because they feel like powerful. Some people get their rocks off because it's just like, oh, like you're at a disadvantage. And it's obviously the people who are getting a benefit and who are contesting against me having justice are unhealthy people. Not the part where, I mean, obviously they need therapy, but they definitely need to be silenced or like locked up and whatnot like that and it needs to be taken into account about who they are, their personality. So, so here it is. Forced labor. Forced labor is again like because of if you if you destroy things of mine, that's financial abuse where I have to use my money that I didn't want to use. I could use it for other things, but I'm using it for this instead. And it's been going on for a while. Domestic servitude. Now, with domestic servitude, it's just like you want me to clean up after you invaded my home, and you'll do something to it, and I have to clean up after it. Or it's those kind of things. Like you're littering on you're littering on my property intentionally just to be a dick and an asshole. And I'm just like, I'm cleaning up after you. Or it's yeah, so I just after a while, their intention is to just really beat you down until you are nothing and hopefully until you are dead because in my situation, they have an insurance policy against me. So they want to take money for it. They don't just relish in the fact that they are abusing me. They are also relishing and delighting in the fact that even after all that they get paid for it. Forced begging. This is their intention. They are very disappointed that I've been independent. I hear that somebody has power of attorney over me, but it's just like I haven't seen you, and I cut you off in 2021 of March 21st of my birthday. Officially, it was March 22nd, like the next day, once you had pulled that little stunt thinking that you were cute. But yeah, so how would you like you obviously were lying at that point. I didn't want anything to do with you. And I showed you guys the video last night in regards to like, court and whatnot like that, and me having the audio. And I am looking forward to the day when we have the mediation, not to talk to this person, but to further show. And I want to show in a live video. I'm hoping you can let me do live through my phone, but do a live where it's just like, okay, look, these bitches are here, or I'm supposed to be sitting here, but obviously I don't want to. Like, I want nothing to do with these people. So when other people outside of me and them are feeling entitled and very hypocritical about me needing to be in the company of my abusers, it's total bullshit. And they're only doing it because they want that same type of benefit that they had before I knew that I was being surveilled. They wanted the benefits. They wanted the exploitation. They want the ego trip. They want the feeling. They want the ideas. They want the laughter and all that other kind of stuff. And me being oblivious to them watching me. They want that. They wanted to keep that going. And it's really fucking with their mind, and it's really pissing them off that I'm speaking out. The more I know, it's just like, and the more I'm just willing to I'm done. And there are too many religious people who are exploiting me, trying to tell me, oh, have faith, this, that, and third. Oh, it's because you don't believe in God. You're obviously not a good Christian because you're not believing in God. And these are the people who are benefiting off of me being abused. Forced marriage. Now, this is insane because supposedly also in order to get or steal my identity and to steal inheritance or properties from me, my ex decided to falsify marriage documents. Like those parts, I'm going to put on the shelf. But I just wanted to tell you that the sexual exploitation and human trafficking is based off on, watching me every day unclothed and being hypocritical, watching me go to the bathroom, watching me take a shower. This is disgusting. It's extremely disgusting. So yeah, there's no misunderstanding. That is extremely wrong and criminal and violent and just like revolting. Extremely revolting. And you may they know better because you would definitely call out bullshit if somebody did that, and you have done that when you see cameras in your Airbnb hotels, or if you've had witnessed there was like a camera in the shower and you caught it out. There has been media about that where you guys have been upset and very wary and cautious. People were having to buy there was a slew of videos of people being very upset about Airbnb, obviously, about our Airbnb having cameras in the house on the low. I would have been upset too. Like you're paying, you're paying somebody to film you so that they can make money off of you and also jerk off. That's crazy. That's insane. And that's basically my situation because also the mortgage people and the land that I own, well, that I pay the mortgage for, and definitely I own, especially by the end of the year, I will be free to just go ahead and sell this place because it's under a contract with the under like affordable housing, basically. But yes, the house is in my name. I am the administrator of the estate, of the property estate. When my mom had passed away, I decided to put my $15,000 into this house to fix it up and whatnot like that at the age of like 20, 21. So that's me. That's me. That's me. That's me. That's all me. And so yeah, I'm about to hopefully get I won't even say the benefits or anything like that because it seems so empty now. Knowing that there are people who have been very pressing and lying in my face, have been making money and being very disgusting about what it is, how I live my life, which has been not offensive and not criminal. It's just, oh my God. Of course, I've made I can be 100% a buck. I've made I've made actions where I'm saying, look, stop this shit because I'm really, really serious on how offended I am about people doing things to kill me. Duh. Duh. So it's natural. So if people are thinking like, oh, she was being really aggressive or something like that. If I want to speak out, then I'm going to speak out. And if I'm going to beat you up, then you're a keyboard warrior. All you have done was just kind of stay behind the scene or do stuff behind my back or hire people to do stuff behind my back, and at nighttime. So you haven't been about it, and everybody knows it, and everybody knows it. So it's just like I'm a talk the talk and I'm gonna also walk the walk. So definitely, you guys know your place. You know your place, and you've been trying it, but it was just like, look, seriously, I've had enough. The only time when people really understand things is during war and violence. Even when they left, Even when they allowed Nelson Mandela to finally be free, it was because it was another war that was going over in Europe. That was the only reason why. It wasn't because of the goodness of people's heart, which is sad and sick. It was because of other things that had affected like the world, the nation, and they were just like, we got to do something. Let's free Nelson Mandela. So, and that was it. Dude was staying in there for years, I think like over a decade or close to a decade. Thank God he had like family and he was able to make friends. But I'm telling you, I don't have the advantage because I don't have the privacy. Everything has been literally like monitored. Everything about me, how I breathe, what I think, everything has been monitored, scrutinized, and like and seem as like something to punish. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's an experiment. It horrible experiment. So exploitation. Wait, where am I going? Okay, exploitation, food poisoning. I had mentioned the food poisoning part. Yeah, this is nasty. I'm over here like, going about my day, da 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 da. I'm over here with with my then boyfriend. So they did this. They put trash, literally trash and disgustingness in my, oh, excuse me, because I'm like, it's making it bigger. In my drinks. They would do nasty stuff in my food. This horrible, horrible. Things that would sometimes make me throw up, and then they would make an excuse about it. Oh, well, that's just a syndrome. Like you're just making things up. You're just like overthinking. You're crazy. Like, bro. Character assassination and slander. You guys already know about that because behind my back, people are going through, ad nauseum, at great lengths to taint my character, but they won't say anything to me. No, instead, what they do is that they'll just be like, "Oh, hey, Shalise, what's going on? Like, we miss you," and da 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 da. So I'm just kind of wondering, at what year did you guys, think that I was the problem? Because in 2007, it's just like, like what did you actually think that, oh yeah, at the time I was living in New York. So yeah, like what the hell? Yeah, actually, because I haven't been in this in a while. All right, so I was the kind of person who hardly did like social media. I didn't do join until like 2007, and I only did it because I wanted to just people kept asking me and just to like engage with people. Here I am with like somebody who I grew up with since like who I knew since daycare, and here are people who are in my I'm going to just I'm so sorry sometimes. It was sunflower. Okay. Okay. Maybe you were back. Ah. Okay. Okay, I'm so sorry. Sorry, I tell you, I have the personality of a cat, so I forgot why I had like showed you guys this. All right, so this is this, and if you needed to see like any validity of this, this is me. Bam, bam, bam. So bam, I'm gonna go back into here. Shit. Okay, hold on. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, so here's like the Facebook, blah, blah, blah. And then like bam, blah, blah, blah. I had wanted to go from like the very beginning. System dark mode is now on. Switch Facebook to always match system. System dark mode is now on. Switch Facebook to always match system setting. Yes. So I don't know if that's good or bad. System dark mode is now on. Switch Facebook to always match system setting. I don't know. We're just gonna ignore that part. Okay, it disappeared. Oh, speaking of which, FPS means frame per second. Okay, anyway, so yeah. Oopsie. Okay. We good. I had to look that up though. Like, I'll be honest with you. So yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, so yeah, like 2007. Here I am with people like coworkers, and they're just like very excited to see me. It's like, hey, girl, haven't seen you in a while. Honestly, back. But again, it's just like, yo, like you guys honestly had me like fucked up because I was definitely the social butterfly. I was the one that was hanging out and taking, my family and relatives out, and so I'm just these were all motherfucking lies, and I can eat. There's proof right here continuously. It's disgusting. It's really, really, really fucking disgusting. You know what's sad too is that I would put things where it's just like, hold on. I like there's no excuse for what's been done to me. And absolutely none. All of you participants inspire others to hurt people in their lives for no genuine reason. And I was mentioning like Shanquella Robinson of the world and such, like, like people are hurt for like no just reason. And I see so much performative sympathy from you all. I see it and society sees it. And sure enough, I got like one of those like people would start and this is like the only person that has like responded because everybody else got caught off for it. And so they just kind of decided more to not respond or just like ignore me or not follow me, but still try to be friends with me to make it seem like we still had a connection. But people would either DM me or just pretend like they didn't know what was going on. Like, oh, what's going on? Like you haven't been up to date with my life for the past like 10 years behind my back and being really passive aggressive and nasty in reference to comments. It's sick. It's really, really fucking sick. Black people in Trenton, New Jersey, because it's dominantly black now. Well, excuse me, it's been dominantly black for the majority, especially in my community. So it's disgusting and ridiculous on how so many people decided to be sellouts. And they want to call me like an insufficient or not good enough Christian. And I'm like, I don't know what your definition of a good Christian is, but I'm going to take that as a compliment because I don't ever see myself having done what you did to me. Like this was unjust and completely like the dumbest thing I've ever. Home invasions and electrical fire. Like, yeah, you guys would mess with a lot of my things. Bodily harm. And by bodily harm, I mean like you guys would like the dusty stuff like that, you would put it everywhere in the house. You would hope that you could put it on my pillows because at the time, before I knew what was going on, I still had like my bedding here and stuff like that. But I had to take my bedding and cleaning utensil or certain type of things, like my bedding, certain clothing, and whatnot like that with me wherever I go because people would be really disgusting and vile and just like they'll do anything from like spit to whatever and sprinkle that stuff that will break me out on things like from toilet paper to tissue, and it would just mess up my eyesight or mess up like yeah. Oh my, so horrible. And this stuff is like not genius. Like they've done this before, and by they I mean like the government and people who would well because the government has been helping. I'm like this isn't new. Like the government has experimented on black people before with the Tuskegee Airmen when it came to like I think it was like syphilis or something like that. It was just they kept experimenting on black people. Did I say Tuskegee Airmen? No, but the Tuskegee that was an experiment. And what else? There were a few. There were a few. Shit. I mean, there's still some. And even in the medical books where they talk about, black people's tolerance for pain. And I'm like, stop that. Like, triangulation, hiring others to deliver information and provoke me, financial abuse, stolen finances, ideas, and intellectual property. Because I've invented something and I went through so much in order to try to make it materialize, and it's been met with nothing but delays. And people are just trying to like criticize me now because like most of the money that I had acquired from it is gone, and I've established injuries during like a car accident, and I'm just not as able to to work or kind of be active as I used to be, which is something that abusers enjoy doing. Wait, where is it? Un momento. Um, it's in this one. But yeah, like there are injuries that I have sustained, some permanent ones, especially in my for my neck and in my knees. There are injuries that I had sustained from car accidents that they would do in order to try to intimidate me. But it would be something like I would say gentle. It was like a three-car accident where the third person had hit the second person had hit me. And then what was the other one? It's just like again, it's just like little things where you have to you try to have people like fuck with you. And one of the other ways that they abuse with through the government is by taking this is your Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where you have physiological needs. It's breathing, food, water, shelter, clothing, sleep, safety and security, love and belonging, self-esteem, self-actualization, where it's like morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, and experience. These people have went through every single one of these to take these away from me or to like extremely like taint it in order to abuse me and hopefully kill me. I mm-mm-mm. I'm a woman who not only just followed the rules, but I was a woman who just kind of stuck with everything, with just being the helper, who grew up being the helper, listening to others, helping others out of the kindness of my heart, not because of obligation or the fear of the Lord, but just because I thought it was the right thing. Because I put myself in their shoes, and I was just like, you know what? As somebody who's being abused at home, I was just like, I want people to feel the joy that I try to make for myself, or the joy that I get from the people who were not my mom, and try to share with others. There is a storyline about me that is untrue in reference to me being like me still who I am. But like hold on, here we go. Look at this. This is me. Let me get this into that accurately. But it's like people are telling me like I should be thankful. People are telling me that I should be thankful that I had got recognition for being surveilled, having people come into my life to triangulate with me. One of my abusers raped me, and they started to dismiss or dismiss and taint my character and identity in order to dismiss my claims and taint my character by saying like, oh, like, why would you want to listen to her? Because this person has done blank, whatever it is that they wanted to lie about on me. And they'd be like, oh, she's always been the quiet one who didn't have any friends and people were bullying her in school. And I'm like, I was quiet most of the time, but it was just like I wasn't like I was quiet most of the time, but I was also like when people wanted to talk to me, I was a friendly person. Not like friendly like how some people were with their bodies, but I was in school in order for them to like them in order to put me down. They'd be like, well, hey, if you touch me here or if you do this, then you can be mean to or something like that. Like that's just crazy. When you find out about the shit that happens behind the back, when you really were sticking your neck out for people, it would just really like fuck you up. Like had I not, I don't there's nothing to be thankful about my situation that is going on today that would make me thankful. What I am thankful for is the abuse that actually, well, kind of like I'm not really thankful for the abuse that I went through as a kid, but without my resilience, my strength, and that independent curating of, just strength and who I was and who I established myself as, I wouldn't have had the toughness that I had to endure this shit because I had to endure it by myself. I have recordings of people this morning telling me to just keep going, keep pushing, and then reducing my experience to their basic ones. And it's just very fucked up because I'm not saying that that I'm the only person that's abused. I'm saying that you can't, or you were looking very stupid by trying to minimize my situation to something as um, simple and common to yours. Say for instance, there are two women in a workplace. Okay, these are two women in a workplace. This one's the white one. This one's the colored one. Okay, at this workplace, women are paid extremely low wages compared. Pardon me. Women have like a considerably lower salary than men. Women are also have stereotypes against them. Pregnancy. Oh, if you're pregnant, then like goodbye to her. Like she's not gonna come home. She's not gonna come back to work. She's gonna be a housewife or something like that, which might happen. But it was just like clearly like women working here is a joke because as soon as they become pregnant or married, like they won't be here anymore. There was stereotypes back in the day. Whether or not it was true, but it was just like, whether or not it was true that those women would likely do that, but there were actually women that wanted to just work. There were women that wanted to work in order to attain a man, but there were women that actually wanted to work and pursue careers where marriage wasn't the end all be all for them. They would sooner go to a nunnery. My point is that these women are both I wouldn't say victims, but these women are both at a disadvantage. Yes, absolutely. Her story doesn't negate her story. It's just that this one right here is going through harder times because this woman right here is Black. And it's not modern time Black. This is back in the day Black. So, and there is a difference because there are more resources and advantages that Black people have now that they didn't have back then. This woman right here is wearing her hair natural out. This woman right here obviously is this white woman right here is wearing her hair natural out. But this one right here is like, this is frowned upon because it doesn't look as clean or as seductive or attractive to what the idea of the CEO or the company is, or it doesn't represent supposedly the company like aesthetics. So instead of empathizing with this woman, she minimizes her situation and also puts it into her perspective about like what the storyline is. Like this woman could be confiding in her, like, hey, look, like this is a really tough time for the both of us, as abused women. I'm going right now, like people were just like criticizing my hair. I have to get it pressed. and that is expensive on itself. So even with the lower salary, we have to worry about that. And because I am a Black person, I'm more likely than living somewhere that is that doesn't have the safety and resources as where you are probably living and working at. And family member, sometimes it's kind of different too. Like the family at home and the environment like that is kind of different also. But this woman right here is saying that, hey, look, this is really unfortunate for the both of us, but um, it's really tough on me, and it's really tough on me, and what I'm going through is definitely, I can understand, because life is super hard, but we get through it. It could be worse, and that's just that's really fucked up to say that, oh, this can be worse. You're also racially profiled. This woman right here is also being racially profiled, and she has so many other challenges to go through as a Black woman in America during, like, Jim Crow era, or even just the 1990s when you're still racially profiled. And you have somebody here that is more likely on the magazine of, like, always, just kind of diminishing and minimizing this woman's struggles. Yes, we both struggle, but you need to acknowledge and just be quiet as I discuss about, like, what's wrong with me and my situation. It's okay. It is okay that you cannot relate to the parts that I struggle with. Okay. This doesn't have to be an Olympics. This is not an Olympics. Do you think this is not, trust me, this is not a race or a competition that I want to win. You feel me? And that's when they do that whole like oppression Olympics. It's like, bitch, be fucking for real. This is not something that we want to do. We don't want to wake up. It's really crazy right now because there are some people nowadays who want to try to have like a competition where it comes on, no, like, I need more attention now because it gets them clout. People will make up stories about what they went through in order to get sympathy and clout and likes. They'll be like, oh, follow me for more likes. And so they'll, like, fake an injury or a disability or an experience that they had. And that's fucking sick and disgusting. And I really hope a lot of people get caught out for that shit. But yeah, it's relative to that. It's really relative to that. And it's not only white people or non-Black people that do that to Black people. I get this shit from Black people when it's about my situation. It's just like, hold the fuck up. Wait on. Because I'm going to do another one that's like this color. Okay, here we go. It's just like, hold the fuck up. It's like, how are you? You look like me. We don't exactly have, like, we have a lot of, like, similarities as Black women in America. But what I'm going through has been something that's, an archaic, it's systemic oppression. It's an injustice. It's something that we both can't, say that we're going through, because you have the advantage to sit behind your chair and comment with my abusers in a fucking group chat, and you get to sit in the comfortability of your home and watch me and surveillance me as I'm going through the challenges in day to day and wondering if my coffee is going to be fucking poison or not today. This is not the moment where you need to try to minimize my situation just so you can get some type of sympathy, or try to make me feel like I can push through and give you perseverance porn, so that way you can further utilize me in order so you can exploit me and get a benefit of however it is for you. And then all of a sudden these people become the victim. So I mean, yeah, so whether it's Black or non-Black, people really are beside themselves because I won't allow them to get away with trying to minimize my situation for their fucking personal gain. Like, fuck out of here. This is no. We're not doing that. So you're lying and saying stuff like, oh, like, she was like, she was bullied. Oops, sorry, I don't know how to. So it's like, hold on, wait. Okay. So it's just like, oh yeah, like she was bullied, this, here, and the third. This is me, and this is another girl that I'm I was in violin with, and the National Honor Society, and just a few other groups. What else? But like basically like this person was like cool enough where I was like, okay, like it was whatever. Like me and her were cool. But people were saying that I was ugly. I was like, keep it a fucking buck, bitch. Like let's stop. Let's stop the nonsense. Okay, first off, this right here was premium. I had a cell phone, which back in the day was just like, not common back. Like, I had a good cell phone. Like I grew up with the advantage of being middle class in a time when somebody else who has been gung ho trying to like flaunt money, her and my half sister, have been trying to flaunt money in my face, and I'm just like, sweetheart, I grew up with the advantage of being around money and going on like little trips here and there, not far trips, not overseas trips or anything like that, but like family gatherings like out of state that would take like 8 hours, like field trips and things like that. But it was just like I never I never held that over your head. If anything, I wanted to share. I had shared my things with you guys, but it's just like I don't understand like why you guys were like trying to cap and trying to make me feel bad. Like those are your own issues, okay, that you were trying to project. So yeah, this is just like me right here. And I used to tag shirts. I don't know if you know that, like tag and bomb shirts, which means like graffitiing. So that's a spectator. They were just taking a bunch of pictures one day. Wow, I really look like I'm in the Breakfast Club. Okay, so this is like the high school yearbook, which you can actually get from the Trenton Public Library. And there's information that you can get also from I think it's like some type of master library that's in downtown Trenton. So this stuff is public information. So when you look at this material, it's just like, come the fuck on. Like people wanted to do the work, you can see it. Here I am in the Interact Club. That's me in the white shirt, looking all breakfast clubby right now. See, like with the little cool pose. Like I was a girl who would kind of dress up and like I wouldn't say like boyish clothes, but yeah, I was always the jean, t-shirt, and sneakers girl because I was really tall. I had my hair like really nice and pressed and stuff like that, always nicely and done. I have like my little baby fat book bag, which was really cute, inexpensive back in the day. Back in the day. And I had on my sneakers, like because I was a sneakerhead back in the day. Dresses and stuff was a rare thing because it was really hard for me to find shoes that were my size, and as it is now. But yeah, it was more so back then. Where else? Where else we're doing? When did I do? Oh, May 25th. I was just interested in trying to get this material information regarding my justice. So I was just like, oh, hold the fucks up, because my uncles coincidentally have misplaced pictures and stuff like that of me and my possessions and materials. They supposedly threw it away, or they just lost it. Bro, when I say that my family is so duplicitous, I really, really mean that they're very extremely duplicitous. So I was part of like what is it, the National Honor Society, the High Honor Society. Definitely in the end, I was a little bit more rebellious because once my mother had passed away, it was just like it kind of gave me less responsibility of kind of tending to her needs, but more responsibility of helping my grandmother out. So there was just certain things I was just too tired to do. Like I didn't want to do what is it, the violin as much, and I definitely didn't want to do was it gym as much. But I made sure that I kept my grades good enough for college, which was like, and I did do college during the summer, just crazy. So I took like and during the fall, like I took college courses while I was still in high school, and things of that nature. So it's just really crazy and out of pocket for people who have just made all these fabrications up, and you can literally go to libraries and stuff like that to go find the information. Oh, hold on. So yeah, here's the multicultural club. Here's me again, the tall one right here. Yep, tallest in the bunch. Yep, there we go. Bam, bam, bam. my little tag and a little bag and stuff like that. I was just always like, kind of just kept it clean. Boom, 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 and boom. Multicultural club, because I actually could speak multiple languages. It's just like if you really don't use it, you lose it. And with me being antisocial, it's really hard for me right now to get back up on it. It's not that hard, but it's hard if you feel me. Like I have to get back on it, which is what I really am working toward. I was the one that was speaking all the languages, and people were looking at me funny. First language that I learned, second to English, was Spanish, and then American Sign Language, and that's only because my mom had taught me those two. She had spoke those fluently. Well, she knew those fluently because American Sign Language is obviously with your hands. And then independently, I learned French because my mom was reading my journal. So I was my diary, and I was just like, yeah, like we're gonna put this. So, so I was just like mixing up words. I was just like, yeah, no, you're not gonna get this. No, no, I don't get this. Yeah. So I was a part of the multicultural club and the orchestra, and the orchestra too. Here I am. Check me out. Bam, right there with my red, white, and black sneakers. Yeah, baby. I was a sneakerhead. I kept sneakers and Tims. I kept wearing sneakers and Tims. I used to have like my poetry in like an old Timberland box. Timberlands. I used to have the broccoli one, beef and broccoli ones, and just the tan one. Because the tan ones will always get dirty real quick, so I used to always have the two color ones. What about it? What about it? And I begged my violin teacher for us to play like some hip hop, and he wouldn't. He wouldn't until after I graduated, which was like so sucky. All I wanted to do was just play Jadakiss. We gonna make it for my graduation. That's all I wanted to do. All I wanted to do. Oh, another thing right here is TCHS Blaunstein Scholars. So the recipients of the 2003-2004 Distinguished Scholar Awards, these students placed in the top 10% of their class and have a minimum combined SAT score of 1260 or ranked first, second, or third in their class at the end of their junior year. Approximately 1,000 students across the state of New Jersey were offered the Distinguished Scholar Award. TCHS recipients are somebody who I grew up with since daycare, and somebody who I had in my close circle until obviously things went left. And let's see, the Blaustein Urban Scholars were also ranked top 10% of their class and have a GPA of at least 3.0 on a 4.0 scale. And I believe that I graduated with a 3.8. Trenton Central High urban scholars are and me. Yeah. Yeah. It's just and my name is over. So like basically my name is in there. So yeah. And it's in the papers. So I had got myself like full scholarships to college, and I had got myself partial scholarships to college. But the college that I wanted to go to, the college that I specifically wanted to go, okay, yeah, the Blaunstein College, and I had pointed my little finger. Yeah, ah, bam. I made a video of it because I was just too tired of. Pardon me. I was just too tired of. And there I am. There I am right there in my Nietzsche shirt, which is also a premium. I'm telling you, like, yo, you can't tell me nothing, okay? You can't tell me nothing. But I was humble though. I really was. So yeah, like I was like people were saying like, oh, I needed attention. I'm like, no, I didn't. Like in in um in daycare, no, not in daycare. In the first grade, I was one of three, like a handful of students, less than a handful of students who went from kindergarten, who was asked to skip school, like skip grades. And I begged my mom to say no. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I also had the opportunity before then in elementary school to be on was it craft, the Blue Box, a commercial. And I was just like, and then what was it? Oh no, I had during elementary school I had played for the mayor. And so did the friend that I grew up with. He played for me too. There were a few things, but it was just like I didn't like people saw exactly how special I was, which is why they decided to milk me for my attention. I in middle school I had got like the district school fair, like it was a science project, and I got an entire district. I got first place, and I was I was in the papers in the second, third, um, and I got and I got like a lead position for for a dance. Like basically like the what was very special about me blossomed out, but I didn't try to be arrogant about it. I was just like, oh, okay. And I didn't like the attention so much because my mom was really a bully and she was very competitive. And it just I don't know if that's with all undeveloped Geminis, because clearly the person who I grew up with is clearly one. But yeah, what is it else? In high school, I did the Jay Blaustein scholarship thing, and I was on 106 in Park. So, and I was talking about my paintings, and that was nice because people were just like really hyped about that. So it's like when it comes to attention, like that's just okay. What I decided to do, when I decided to do, because I had my Leah painting on that show, and it was really nice. That was a really nice moment. I had brought me and my debutante group over there up to New York, and we were just like bigging up because the show was nice. It was like the Soul Train Awards. I mean, the Soul Train show equivalent on BET. And what else? And I did Bryant Park. I was working backstage with Bryant Park Fashion Week. Like that was exciting. I was at FIT, so I was like, these things are just yeah. I don't know why people are trying to throw things in my face because I'm just like I'm not phased by it. Like I'm the kind of person who knows what my capabilities are. So when you say that I have potential, I find that that's like an offensive insult basically. But I don't take it personally because it's just like you're over here being inspired, taking my ideas and trying to hold me back, but you're calling it potential. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's just, a tactic used tale as old as time. When another race or another person, another group or whatever tries to oppress somebody else and tries to humble them. Again, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You're trying to knock me down. And it's just like, again, I've seen that shit when I was a kid. So nothing was beneficial about this situation. And I had no problem before I knew that I was being surveilled, I was literally over here showing different types of ways on how people can, gain confidence. And this is before I believe that I was being like surveilled. But I was over here trying to like help people gain confidence. And I wanted to make programs in order for people to, help themselves and things of that nature. In my fucking Facebook, I have moments where I encourage people to join me, to come with me, to the soup kitchen and whatnot like that. Because I was doing the soup kitchen and volunteering and help feeding the homeless when I was in high school. But even prior to that, I was giving my toys away to the Toys Teen Tots at the community service center. Like I've been doing that shit since middle school, and then I've been doing other stuff since elementary. So it's just like my humanitarian stuff was just like a natural situation, and I think that's probably mostly because as a big sister you kind of get that or something maybe. I don't know. I thought what I thought that a lot of people were special. They just needed to tap into it. And so I just try to like pull it out of people. And now because I have been so fucking abused and oppressed, and to this day my justice is delayed, I don't fucking want to help you bitches. Like, yo, you're literally over here trying to bleed me dry. It's like bleeding, trying to squeeze blood out of a rock. You think that I literally want to do anything for you guys? No, I'm thinking for myself. When you believe that you are watching me to help me, bitch, you're helping yourself. You're using that information so you can sell it to the other people who you pander out to your customers. You're giving me ABC shit that I knew way before you guys started trying to interfere with my life and trying to hold me back. And I'm doing the things like even with the disadvantages. of getting back into that place. Again, it's so much shit has been going on. That's why I needed to do this shit in segments. But um, bro, it's a lot of messy ass people. Really, just a lot of messy ass people. What else do I need to talk about? So yeah, so what is it that I wanted to dismiss? Obviously about Christians. Like people were saying like, oh, you're not a good enough Christian. I'm like, I'll take that as a fucking compliment. Here's a guy who's talking about there are a few articles from the Washington Post, BBC, and the New Yorker about a Nigerian, Nwabani Ogogo, whose slaves were sold through the ports of Calabar and Bonny in the south of what is today known as Nigeria. Let's go and see. My Nigerian great grandfather sold slaves. And in the midst of this, he decided to make a church, which is crazy. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, I don't have to be your fucking idea of a good Christian when you are a fucking sellout and you made exploits off the backs of suffering people, of innocent people, women and children, and killing them. So yeah, no, like, yeah, it's just it's not the way for me. My Nigerian great grandfather sold slaves, and it's just like, bruh. And look at you guys now over here, still like being malicious. That is a child, and as a baby, not his mother. He had agents who captured slaves from different places and brought them to him. My father told me. They negotiated prices for slaves from the hinterlands, then collected royalties from both the sellers and buyers. Slaves recaptured and brought back to Africa boundaries as of 1750. The only life they knew. The concept of all men are created equal, which is, obviously something was completely alien to traditional religion and law in this society. Mm. The successful sale of adults was considered an exploit for which a man was hailed by praise singers. Doesn't seem like much change. Akin to exploits in wrestling, war, or in hunting animals like the lion. It's sick. When the British extended their rule to southeastern Nigeria in the late 19th century and early 20th century, they began to enforce abolition through military action. But by using force rather than persuasion, many local people, such as my great grandfather, may not have understood that abolition was about the dignity of humankind and not a mere change in economic policy that affected demand and supply. We think this trade must go on, one local king in Bonny infamously said in the 19th century. That is the verdict of our oracle and our priests. They say that your country, however great, can never stop a trait ordained by God. As far as my great grandfather was concerned, he had a bona fide trading license from the Royal Niger Company, a British company that administered commerce in the region in the last quarter of the 19th century. So when his property was seized, an aggrieved Agogo boldly went to see the colonial officers responsible and presented them with his license. They released his goods and his slaves. The white people apologized to him. Oh my God. Disgusting. Like, disgusting. You're literally putting people. Sometimes they also turn a blind eye rather than jeopardize a useful alliance. Kind of like today, where Black people are benefiting from exploiting me and selling me out. Well, the certain Black people that are exploiting me and selling me out. They're in an uproar and an outrage in regards to my oppression. Blacks and non-blacks. So, but still minorities. They are very displeased. Like, oh my God, especially racist ones too. So the government feel like their hands are tied, basically, when they are benefiting from it, but they're pretending, like Biden does when it comes to like student loan forgiveness. Okay, I said what I said. So it's just like it's one of those. My hands are tied. I can't do anything. So sometimes they also turn a blind eye rather than jeopardize a useful alliance, as seems to have been the case when they returned Agogo slaves. That incident defied Agogo among his people. Here was a man who successfully confronted the white powers from overseas. It was also the beginning of a relationship of mutual respect with the colonialists that led to Agogo being appointed a paramount chief by the British administration. Wow. So being able to sell out your own gave you political influence? If history doesn't repeat, it definitely rhymes, doesn't it? He was the government's representative to the people in his region in a system known as indirect rule. And in reference to who I'm talking about is a woman. And fellow Black people have literally decided to just sell out and think that the shit is just sweet. Mm. Still lives sits on a piece of. My great grandfather is renowned for his business prowess, strong leadership, immense contribution to the society, off the backs of his own people, and advancement of Christianity. This again sounds like the same things. I'm telling you, there's nothing special about my abusers because all they did was just like look back into the things that I've looked up and decided to repeat it, and has done nothing but attract people who are racist and opportunists in order to try to do that with people who they're around, or people who they can get their hands on, trying to exploit and harm just strangers, innocent people off the street, innocent people that they are affiliated with. If you're not doing enough for me, or just fuck, if you're just not doing good enough, yeah, if you're not doing enough for me, or if what you're doing is just not good enough, you could be at the hands of the end of the sword. You can find yourself at the end of the sword. Bro, that is crazy. Like, yeah, I'm not lying. It's the BBC. My great grandfather, my great grandfather is renowned for his business prowess, strong leadership, immense contribution to society, and advancement of Christianity. They don't tell you parentheses the criminal stuff that they're doing and how duplicitous and immoral and volatile that it is. It is nothing but just it is it's nothing different than what's been done in the past. and it's not impactful, not in a very beneficial way. Because here's the thing, it takes money to maintain, like the things that you get, it takes maintenance. It does, it takes maintenance. So whatever you were having, whatever tool that you were using in order to make your money, if you made a fucking big castle, you're gonna still need money in order to keep, like, keeping it up, or I guess attract a tourist or anything like that. They're beautiful streets that were once made, that were named after Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, and is now one of the ghetto's worst streets ever. There are buildings, old buildings, that are dilapidated right now, and it's just like, it requires maintenance. So you're using violent, harmful, archaic, and racial discrimination in order to fund and funnel money through malicious intentions. And it's just like, shit. This, like, how long did you think this shit was gonna last? You're like, well, slavery happens all the time. So it's just like, we're just gonna be very quiet about it. And I'm just like, you're changing my fucking character. I'm a benefit to you, but it's just like, this is involuntary and against my fucking will, without my fucking permission. I had seen somebody sign in, and what happens is, one of my abusers signs in, or a person from the government, and decides to silence this information so that way people won't see it. Other people won't see it. But I have no problem with saying this all over again. I really don't. Just, I need to say what needs to be said. What was the other thing that I had shown that I wanted to show? What was the it was just something about me, not nails, images. Yeah, so here I am. These are some of the bruises I got. So yeah, like, look at this. The poisons and stuff like that obviously were intended to kill me. So like, here are like blood clots that I would get, and I would go to the doctors and they'd be like, "Oh, it's just nothing. Sometimes you just have like random bruising sometimes. Did you hit anything? Bitch, are you?" I keep having it. This one is from 2022, but I remember going back from like several years ago, um, for bruising. I have like permanent bruising on my legs. Like, my legs are really messed up, and people will try to make memes about it, like, "Oh, how do girls get these bruises on their legs?" Um, and they would try to make up like excuses or some type of situation where, again, somebody would try to minimize my situation or say it was something else in order to gaslight me, or and gaslight others about the abuse that's going on within my life. I had just read you guys an article about people resisting being confronted with the truth, reality, and their immoral ways, and they're still trying to find a way to justify or delay justice from happening. Violence and just a military action or something like that is really what really provokes people to light a fire under their ass. It does. So, like, they just be, I'm telling you, like, they do it to themselves. Like, how are you? I just want to see exactly, like, how are you trying to play victim now when you have done nothing but just like continuously, continuously been a hindrance and undoing a lot of civil rights matters by repeating. It's crazy because, like, yo, we went through civil rights movements, the having to deal with Jim Crow and whatnot like that. You may have not come to America, or you may not have been born into America as a slave, but bitch, you're going, like, as Black people and as people of color, you have been subjected, or your family has been subjected to racial discrimination and matters of, like, Jim Crow and civil rights movement. And you want to slide back into the mistreatment and abuse and the unjust punishment based off on the color of your skin. You guys are and have been supporting that by still trying to exploit me, still trying to get off on stalking me and gang stalking me and trying to feel connected to me. That's gross. That's gross. Like, you're doing a lot of the things that you guys want to pretend that you are, like, you're not. No. It's it's definitely insane, and in addition to that, the white people that have been attracted to, first off, the non-blacks that have viewed me getting, abused and whatnot like that, we're benefiting off of it because it helps save them and their identity, and just when it comes to like being abused and whatnot like that. Hold on, it saved Britney Spears, and it saved um who's it, Johnny Depp's wife. Like my resilience and my challenges to get through this by myself has inspired women from political standpoints, basic average citizens on the street, men and women, in order to persevere and push through. Even my abusers, it has encouraged them too. So I don't ever want to hear somebody say that, oh, I'm not special because I don't need your validation. And I don't have to like, see proof. I just know who I am, so that you can never try to humble me ever, ever. I knew who I was when I was a kid. I know who I am now, and I knew who I was then. So that's why I always kept speaking up. I didn't just concede. I was just trying to like push forward as I always am though, but it's coming to a point now where things need to happen more accordingly, because obviously it's not about persuasion. It's really about seeing you guys do a whole lot of shit, and you're saying wait, delay. You're abusing religion, talking about, oh, wait on God, wait on God, wait on God, as if I'm one of the blonde haired white women that you guys have spoken up for, and you have allowed to be free and have their rights again. But yet you know that I'm an innocent person, and yet you want to keep using me, watching me being perverted and jerking off on me for your benefit. I'm obviously not buying it, which is why every single fucking day when you try to tell me what to do, I'm going to give you resistance and tell you to go fuck yourself, as you should. Um, yeah, you're having less and less and less of me, as I feel you should, because it's appropriate. You have less of me. You're gonna have to look back at the tapes or wherever and be like, I remember when, because you don't have that with me now. You don't have that with me now. So yeah, you're gonna talk your shit, obviously, because you're an ungrateful little son of a bitch, women or boy or whatever like that. Not having the access to me like you used to. You hate it, and I don't hate it for you. I say crash to your mama though, but the way how you guys have been so fucking codependent on me, I don't think that you have one, or not a proper one. It's really insane, and people are trying to make up these scenarios where, like, yeah, I was sensitive, but because they were bullying me, or they want to play with me. No, as you can see, I'm a person who can enjoy my own fucking like company, and my own, well, what I believed at once upon a time was my own privacy. So no, like it's not about that. No one was doing that. No one was bullying me. Everybody was trying to be all up under me, like they're like they are now. And in the midst of people trying to deflect and trying to avoid accountability, they're like saying, one of the videos was giving my Wi-Fi away. My Wi-Fi away. They're trying to use an analogy, saying comparing my energy to Wi-Fi. And if you look, oh boy, it's it's giving. Do you think I'm dumb? Like obviously, you must think that I'm dumb. You guys are definitely dumb. When you sit in your like your little group chats or whatever like that, trying to make any excuse in the matters of trying to save face or save your ass, saying things about like ignore people's comments, ignore people here, like ignore people's comments, ignore other people's opinions of you. Hold on, sorry, because the battery's low. Ignore people's opinions of me. Ignore people's like thoughts and this, that, here, and the third. But this is when you try to also insert yourself into my situation to minimize it, because it's more than that. It's more than the basic shit that you go through. people are fucking watching me. People are trying to do whatever they can in order to abuse me and make sure that, I give them a reaction, or make sure that I'm I'm witnessing exactly what they're doing, um, without witnessing them actually do it. Like, I won't know until my body is reacting off of something that slipped into my food or my drink. Like, that's when you are really putting yourself into a dumb bitch situation by minimizing my situation. And again, whether or not you acknowledge that, there are people who are growing up every single fucking day and will witness that their parents or whomever was a fucking asshole, just like how you guys were back, like just how you guys will look at old people now who were living in civil rights and being mean to people unjustly. Like, the way how you guys look at them is the same way how people who are growing up are going to look at you, because you are making excuses for your unjust, selfish, greedy ass ways to be a fucking sellout. And by politicians, I mean politicians. And by politicians, I mean politicians. I really do. I really mean politicians. Like, you have made it your, and again, I have to because what happens is that, let's just go from the meat and potatoes situation. This is very funny because this is like really hilarious. They're like, it's not fair. Hold on. It's not fair. I know I did horrible things to you, but why do you have to talk about it? Can't you suffer in silence? You're so mean. Like, yeah, it's hilarious. What's another excuse that they're using? They're using first they're using about some type of triangulation kind of situation, even though I've literally showed you last night that I don't know that person. Like, that was an old one, but it was just like, I'm just interested. In addition to that, they're still trying to make it seem like this is a romantic situation. It's only furthering along their agenda of not hearing me. But by doing so, they are giving a green light to when the government doesn't want to hear them. So you can make all the little picket fence chants and this, that, here, and the third, and recycle my words. But it's really going to fall either like on deaf ears, unless the government officials really need something from you. But they don't need particularly that much, considering that they're able to give up billions of dollars away to a nation that's not even theirs, and then tell us that we have to fend for ourselves when it comes to other kind of rights. And this, that, here, and the third. I kid you not. I kid you not. I just want to show you this. I'm not saying that he's like an abuser, but I'm just saying, like, this hope. It's the only thing stronger than fear. It's the thing. It's a really good line because it's what's being used, trying to be used against me by my abusers. Like, they want me so badly to provide them, perseverance porn to keep going and wanting to exploit me and to make money off of me. This right here is a gate from Auschwitz. It's like, sorry. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering it, but it's just like, work will set you free. And that just basically means, like, work until you die. And that was the intention. Like, people wanted to work you super hard until you died. And I have and that's all you hear right now. The messages is just like, work until you work. Pardon me, hold on. And it's just like, work. If this cuts off, then you know. But it's just like, yeah, work until You die with the intention of being dead. Give me a moment. This was on the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. It says the Nazis pursued a conscious policy of annihilation through work. So when you guys keep saying, "Oh, go keep chasing your goals" and stuff like that, like they want you to keep working and working, and then they be like, "Oh, you're too lazy," and "Oh, take a break," and "Oh, work." No break. It's mind fucks. Like I don't listen to you bitches. I do what's according for me, and I don't want you feeling connected because no, this isn't a fucking journey. We're not together. We're really not together. So I work when I need to, and I do what I want. I do what I want. And you're trying to act like like as if you were instructing me, but it's just like I could switch it up at any point in time. Like, and that's a really good way. I would definitely say if anybody has like a helicopter parent or something of that matter, it's just to switch it up and do whatever it is the fuck that you want to. And that's literally what I've been doing. And people don't like that. People don't like my independent ways. It sucks for them. In this policy, camp prisoners were forced to work under conditions that would directly and deliberately lead to illness, injury, and death. The Germans allowed millions of Soviet prisoners of war to die through a deliberate policy of neglect, insufficient food, clothing, shelter, or medical care. Just like what I'm going through today. So again, it's not just Black people that are taking advantage of abusing me. It's also non-Black, so whites, Jewish people too. It's crazy because your people have been oppressed on both sides, and yet you felt the need to unjustly punish me or unjustly abuse me. You're making a profit by making movies or cinema and everything like that, but you think I should be like appeased while I'm suffering? No. I'm not being a martyr. And in today's age and time, I'm working through pain every single fucking time. But I'm not the kind of person who like, but you're smiling. Like, I don't get it. Like, why can't you just like continue being like okay with this? It's just like, well, it doesn't seem like it's hurting her that much because she's smiling, she's dancing, she's doing this, that, here, and a third. Yeah, and so did slaves. And so do people nowadays when they had people have their own struggles to go through, but they still find a way to smile. I don't have to be subjected to just fucking frowning, especially knowing how pathetic you bitches are. I don't have to no, I'm not going to do that. Like, get the fuck out of here. Do you see these poor kids? These fucking poor kids and adults smiling. Oh man, this is so horrible. It breaks my heart, bro. And these ones are frowning, and there's one woman right here in the front, right there. That's smiling, but everybody else is just like. And another one right here. She's holding the child. She's smiling. Everybody else is frowning. Like, laugh or smile. Like, yo, like how? Like, be fucking for real, yo. And the scars that I have are both internal and external. So if I find a reason for me to smile, I get to smile whenever the fuck I want to. You're not paying me. If anything, literally all you're doing is being a fucking minus and a hindrance to my growth. You've done nothing for me. So don't try to ever take credit for anything because bitch, you're worthless. Bitches, you're worthless. The only thing that I've reached out for was to just stop this injustice. But people wanted to keep going because it benefited them. And I started sending out the messages because I was noticing, like, look, if this is happening, obviously it's going to start attracting more and more people to want to, get a benefit off of this. So they were going to try to start hurting other people. And sure the fuck enough, other people started getting hurt. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just going to put this out here because I don't mind doing I told you so. Because I fucking told you so. I fucking told you so. I fucking told you so. I need to say it 3 times. So, and here we the fuck are now. And yet still to this day, to this afternoon, people are trying to like delay. Politicians and whatnot like that are just sitting back wondering about like, oh, so what is Tabitha making for the 4th of July? I really hope she makes, those pork and beans or those vegan pork and beans. Like, yo, get the fuck out of here. I don't have to do anything that you fucking said with limitations. Like, I mean, obviously, like everything that you want me to do, I don't have to do. I do what is necessary and what is according. But when the opportunity does present itself, you will definitely have to answer for that. I've had that message on my wall for the longest. I have that same message on different places, surrounded on my home, and it's really saying, hold on, because I took a picture of the sticker and I don't feel like it. Boundary. This is an invasion of my privacy. You are unwelcome to view or hear all things. I myself don't post online. You do not have my permission to view or hear about my life in this manner. Your acts are obsessive, caustic, and unlawful. This is a screen. This is a picture of my phone when I had cracks. So yeah, like New Jersey already knows that what they're doing is fucking wrong because it has police officers and whatnot like that, like fucking like messing with my property, with my doors, the fingerprints on the windows, fucking up my car. This is video with robots saying robots debate the future of humanity. That's what I said. I'm like, during a conference, it was like prying. Hold on. So this is what he was saying. Let's start from the beginning. He was just like, would you rather? The guy in the middle had asked him like, would you rather be rich or famous? He's like, I'm not rich, but I'm comfortable. Yeah, because I had put the caption on. I'm not rich, but I am comfortable. Yeah. And she's like, being famous sounds like a lot of work. How long do you think you can remain safe if we can continue to discuss on this one? I'm not sure how you think you can remain safe from prying eyes. You think you can remain safe from prying eyes. So yeah, it was just like this. And then he was just like, yeah, let me hush you guys up. He's like, prying eyes. All right, well, that's some interesting thoughts, huh? Like, yeah. And I'm not getting paid for any of this shit. You guys are making the money, but you have left me exposed to be hurt, harmed, and ridiculed for all your pleasure. Pathetic. Fucking pathetic. You guys want to look it up? That video. It stops. That particular part. I just want to just show you. Basically, I'm also just showing it because I wanted to put this out here on how much of a fucking joke politicians and America and just this world is, humanity is. Because it's just, you can look at the Twitter of politicians who are just like, oh, we want to make this, like, we're making this nation great and this, that, here, and the third. But they're not. They know full and well that they are monopolizing off of me. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. So, but yeah, if you want to look it up with yourself, it says Robots Debate, the Future of Humanity. And it was at 16 -28. So you're probably going to have to like maybe like a few moments back and then look at it. So yeah, that's it. This is the robot that they made into like into a citizen. The intelligent. So yeah, I'm just like, I'm not saying anything to appeal to my abusers and people who are like gang stalking me and watching me. No, I'm literally just showing how big of a fucking joke these people are. Like, you were laughing at me, but you bitches are the jokes. You were trying to abuse me and try to make me your fucking slave, and people were making money off of you guys too. You decided to try to undo a whole bunch of shit that our ancestors, and including like around the Martin Luther King era, had worked so tirelessly for and died for. You're giving people who are non-Black the opportunity to encourage being sellouts. There was a video of a woman saying that, hey, look, I can yell at you, I own you and shit like that. Like, yo, this is what you did. How would I ever, or why would I ever be impressed by that shit? Here's me as a little girl with my I have a dream. Because I was literally about that fucking life. Oh, and this my clothes is not dirty. It's just the picture itself was dirty because as you can see right here, like this is the same kind of stuff right there. So yeah. And people are just like, oh, Shalice, good luck and stuff like that. Like I have things where it has people like, admiring me. Oh, and here I am right here. This is a screenshot I took of, me at the premiere of a movie. Yeah, a preview screen. Okay, a preview screening of How to Be Single when this was like a sponsored thing that I had got invited to. So it was just like, yo, like let's keep it a fucking buck when it comes to like, oh, your abuse, this will make you like famous and stuff like that. Like this is not how I wanted to be famous. I did not want to be famous by being a fucking like a martyr or some type of excuse me, I don't want to be a martyr. I'm not a martyr. But like I don't want to be famous by being some type of object, property. It's not how I want it to be. You're not trying to say anything that's going to be like, yeah, this was worth it. Being raped and harmed and the reduction of me possibly being pregnant and all these scars and me cutting off family and being isolated and ostracized. This was worth it. No, bitch. Never that. No. I'll really be trying to save face and it looks stupid. So again, when I was saying that, oh, this right here was like work until you're free. No, work will set you free, but it was mean as like as a nasty ass German joke. It's the same thing right here. Like, not everyone will get this, and this is like, hold on. It says let this sink in by my abuser, the one of the major sellout. Not everyone will get this. Faith no work, faith and work. I've been working tirelessly. I worked like 2 jobs in a side hustle, so you can't like obviously that's gaslighting and manipulative to be like, oh, I'm not working hard when yeah, no, I have been working hard, very extremely hard. No money and no support. That's insane. That's the equivalent. Memes like this and messages like that are done for perseverance porn in order to encourage me to try to work harder and to the point where I die, to give them more ideas. This was a black person. That is a black person I'm saying that. These messages are from, it can be from Hispanic, it can be anybody. Why? Fucking why? Insane. 10 stages of genocide. 10 stages of genocide. Classification, people are divided into us and them. In order to make me ostracized, people were trying to isolate me by tainting my character and lying about it. So that way people won't try to mess with me or associate with me or anything like that. So classification. Symbolization, people are forced to identify themselves. So are you either with them or are you against them? Back in the day, the term weirdo, like recently, it's 2023, so 2019 and 2018, and even I think 2020, like the term weirdo was more heavily used, and because I put that I'm a proud weirdo, but it was like the creative weirdo, not the weirdo where it was just like somebody was just being like really weird and creepy. So it was just like, oh, but so they were doing like this thing where they were negating the term weirdo, or they were negating anything that happened to identify with me. If I happen to like goobers, all of a sudden you happen to be a weirdo if you like goobers. If I happen to have cats, then all of a sudden then you're a weirdo if you like cats. You're a weirdo if you happen to enjoy wine. And apparently, if you have a wine bottle for a weekend, and you finish it, or even if you don't finish it, still regardless, either way, you're considered an alcoholic, which is crazy. And I'm talking about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you have a bottle that lasts for those few days, it doesn't matter. And it's like the juice kind. It's not like either way. It can even be a small one. Apparently, you're an alcoholic. That's crazy. I haven't. Oh my god, insanity. Or a glass of wine, still you're an alcoholic. If you had a glass of wine. Like one glass of wine on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're an alcoholic. Even if you had it on 3 days, you're an alcoholic. It's crazy. 2 times a week, you're an alcoholic. 1 time a week, you're leading to alcoholism. It's crazy. Dehumanization. People equated with animals, vermin, or diseases. To watch me and to try to make an excuse about it is inhumane. It's dehumanizing. It's the whole thing about a human zoo. When you people grow up to be like, in your 50s or 60s, and you have to explain to kids who are now in their 20s, because this is how it happened. When I was being targeted, people were like 10 years old or something like that. So they didn't know exactly what had happened. They were conditioned to be fucking abusers too. And it's crazy because like it's like you can't distinguish, like when I kind of mind fuck you, like to not distinguish on who deserves to have rights and who doesn't. You know, it's like because the conditioning of children was done with Hitler. Like it really was. Like they had like animation and this that, and the third for Hitler to condition kids. And there was the Hitler group for like it was like a boys club for like young little Nazis to attack the Boy Scouts. I shit you not. They were to attack Boy Scouts. Oh, and guess who's German and a German ambassador? The governor of New Jersey. Yes, the governor of New Jersey. Yes, 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 yes. Signed by Obama, the first black president. That was one of the favor and the advantages of being, of being sellouts. It got all the way up there. So now you got music, you got artists, just like really glorifying about being sellouts and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, in a monkey paw situation, now people have to pay for people have to pay like all of a sudden now we're going to just start taking people's resources, even taking your lives if you don't fall in line. Will die, or this, that, here, and the third. You're pressured down in order to fall in line to keep this shit going. Bitch. I don't fuck with you. Okay, hold on. Which is crazy because I was kind of like shaded at me, but polarization. The government creates specific groups, police, military, to enforce the policy. Organization. Polarization, the government broadcasts propaganda to turn the populace against the group, is what you would see in media. So say that there was, mentioned this, I think last night or the other night, where, say that there's a gunman attacking like a school or a bar or something like that, then they're going to use qualities about me that would be similar or something like that. It can be loosely. Like, oh, this person was tall and brown and, was very quiet, very popular in the beginning, like high school. She had a bunch of friends, or he had a bunch of friends. And then he was very quiet and began to isolate and ostracize themselves. Started watching the same episodes like of TV all the time. They preferably like Golden Girls. Like, shit like that. Like, that's what they would do. It's crazy. Preparation, official action to remove, relocate people. Official action to remove and relocate people. 10 stages of genocide. So we've been through here. Preparation to remove, relocate people. So yes, I myself have no intention to stay in this fucking neighborhood. But people have been alluding to my abusers one day, particularly having me taken somewhere in order to be away and be safe from eyes and stuff like that. Yeah, bitch, I'm pretty sure. I was like, yo, like I'm not stupid to this bullshit. Like, yo, they're really trying to like off me. I mean, obviously they're trying to off me with food, like food and dangerous things around here though. But like, come on now, official action to remove and relocate. Oh, it's okay. We're just gonna take you to the camp. Okay, we're just gonna take you to a camp. Okay, we're just gonna take you to a nice place where you'll be safe and secure. Okay, I just want to take you out, and I don't mean for breakfast or for dinner. I just want to take you out, but not for dinner. Like, yo, persecution, beginning of murders, theft of property, and trial massacres. This would be a very, I mean, you've already been taking, my property, but this would definitely have been the opportunity after preparation, after removing me from this house and relocating me to another place. The next thing, of course, after you would murder me, assassinate me, would be to take this house. Then, at the end of the month, not the end of the month. At the end of the year, you would sell it. You'd also take my insurance money for yourself. You would pocket it. Then after that, you would just try to like recycle me as you guys have done before with other people like Marilyn Monroe or Martin Luther King, or we'll never do this thing again. You can trust in us. We're a good nation and we're good. You can trust us. What this happened was just insanity. That's crazy. Then you'll fuck up with the history of my history and things of that nature. Anything that was probably found, you probably will try to mute it or hide it or anything like that. Let's see. A lot of people will try to get clout. Definitely, a lot of people will try to look at my old videos and try to recycle it and stuff like that, and try to be either try to recycle my personality and or try to recycle my content and then to make it profitable for themselves. At this point, because my items, my inventions have not gone, have not been commercialized yet, then they would try to take that too, or try to make like a copy, like some assimilation towards that. Yeah, and just start, maybe even might out of the kindness of their heart, try to name something after me, maybe, if they want it to be nice enough. This this is a charity for Shalice. If you just donate so that every unfortunate person can just feel special. And so yeah, so that right there would happen too, and it would be pocketed. Okay. And that's not something new because hold on. Because how are they wait, hold on, first let me finish this. Extermination, wholesale elimination of the group. So that means people who have been influenced to also be targets will be eliminated. Also, the people who have been in the group chats will be potentially next. Highly likely, they will have to, prove themselves. If they're not, even if they're not good enough, even if they are malicious and they're just not good enough, they will put themselves on the roster. Something like that. Again, just realize I told you so. Oh my god. And also, it is extermination and not murder because the people are not considered human. Human. Oof. Denial. The government denies that it has committed any crime. This has happened before because do you know the links that we had to go to get was it African American slavery information like out there about like what happened to us? Like a lot of that shit was either hidden or very hard to find. Like it wasn't just out there. In history books, African American history is like not really discussed. It's only just more like American history. Like it's briefly discussed in school, and I think like in 2020 or 2019, I think that book like 1969 or something like that, or no, 1869. So well, a book like that was being pushed in order to like like be real with the shits, like tell exactly like what happened. But the thing is, which is crazy, is that I don't think that both races wanted to be accountable for what the fuck was going on. I think they just wanted to be accountable for what the white people were doing to us, not just what the black people were doing to us too. And not all black people were fucking slaves. So black people also had slaves. So if you're gonna tell it, like tell it all. Tell it the fuck all. But damn sure let white people be accountable for what the fuck they put us through and what they're still putting us through, because that's another thing. It's just the racial discriminatory behaviors. However, as long as they gave me and silently other people, but they're putting me in as a poster child for abuse and being a sellout, they're giving more opportunities to black people. But it's just like it comes with a price. It comes with a fucking price. And black people didn't seem to mind when they were getting PP loans and getting access to doors, but these weren't all the doors that were opening. These weren't all the opportunities that they could have achieved. They actually could have achieved it with hard work, but they just like that fast stuff. They were distracted by the lights and this, that, and the third. This right here is a fucking joke. Let me say, this is the equivalent of a wedding ring to an adulterer. I really do love the Statue of Liberty, but for America to to do some shit saying that, oh yes, we believe in liberty for all injustice, unless it's for a crime of punishment. Like, bitch, be for fucking for real. You're doing modern slavery right now. I'm a living, walking, talking example of that. Like, be fucking real. It's just so wild and crazy, bro. So wild and crazy. I wanted to show you something that might be helpful. The gray rock method, because people are trying to say that I'm something that I'm not. And it's just like it's a strategy based on disengaging with manipulative and abusive people. So this is what I use when I'm at work or in certain type of settings. And then I gotta go. I walk away. So it's just like be brief when you answer any questions, and I try to do that unless I'm actually like kind of interested in something. But I'm just like, yeah, because I'm trying. Like, if I knew that you don't like me and yet now you want to like be nice to me, I'm figuring your energy out and looking at your gives, and that's honest, that's intentionally that's like what do you call it, that's a defensive mechanism. Like, I don't bring it out of me. I am just like, okay, okay, we're doing this, okay, we're doing this. So I'm looking at your cues, and I'm looking at your facial expressions. I'm looking at what you answer. I'm looking at how you answer it. I'm looking at your tone of your voice. Did you gulp too hard? Why are you breathing like that? I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that. I'm also looking at your eyes. Your eyes will dilate, your eyes will not dilate. Sometimes I don't even have to look at you because I don't want you looking at me as I'm trying to look at you. So I'm more aware of just like listening to you. And then I can just kind of, it helps me because people will try to be animated and try to mimic me. So it's just like, instead of you trying to mimic me with like with hands and stuff to try to distract me, I'm listening to you. And that's just something I learned when I was a kid. So it's just like, okay, like I see through the bullshit. What else you got? So yeah, it's like say yes, no, I don't know. Yeah, I do that. Be factual, concise, and impersonal. Don't feed into their drama. Keep busy during your interactions. Avoid responding with any emotion. Be as boring, uninteresting, and non-responsive as possible. Don't give them any detail about your life. So I give like, if anything I do, I just the superficial stuff. But it's just like, it's even crazy where like that I'm innocent and I'm at a disadvantage, and yet you still want to prey on me and watch me. So anything that I try to share with you that would be personal about my life, I would not try to do, because you already obviously don't give a damn about innocence. It's just, yeah, it's wild. Ah, so many things, so many things. I just know that there's a oh, that we are pleased to announce that yeah. Thank you so much, Elise, for the during the volunteer group to task. I hope you had a great day. Oh yeah, I was just driving people to the soup kitchen one day, and I happened to return, and somebody gave me like like fake money. I mean, it was like credit towards the cafeteria. So I thought that was like really nice. It's like, we were pleased to announce that the Chauncey Center will now accept Kurt Bucks. It's like the Center for Advocacy and Philanthropy. And I was just like, I didn't know you guys had that. I was just like, oh, it was nothing. It was out of the way. Like, bro, it's just weird. Like, yo, like I got like nothing but love from like people. Even if I go on like Facebook and stuff like that, it's just center of appreciation, most likely to succeed. And it's just, and people knew that, which is why they mimicked me and they stole my ideas, and they would just try to like poach after me and things of that nature. One thing before I go, maybe two things, but hold on. I wanted to do this quote. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. If you pull it all the way out, that's not progress. Progress is healing the wound that the blow made. And they haven't pulled the knife out, much less heal the wound. They won't even admit that the knife is there. This is um, a quote made during the civil rights movement. It's there's no misunderstanding about the abuse that I've been going through. None. Absolutely none. Can you imagine some shit like this? Like you have actual records of people just being extremely evil to you, and you'd be like, it was just a misunderstanding. Like there have been like decades of people gaslighting the Jews after they've been released. Like that didn't really happen. Bitch, millions of people have been murdered, yo. Bitch. And you know another thing about public humiliation on the Holocaust Encyclopedia. Like again, like you have been through this oppression, and yet you felt entitled to fucking do it to another person. That's why that again, it just brings me back to that white guy who I was saying about like shit. It's not about being oppressed. It's about like they just wanted to oppress others. Like it's just like even the oppressed people wanted to oppress others, and that's not the case because I want you to have like I want to have justice, and then I don't want to fuck with you. I don't want to fuck with you. I don't want the same treatment where it's just like, okay, this is where you're gonna have to go through where I'm gonna watch you. Nah, fuck that. I don't give a fuck about you. Preferably I want you incarcerated for as many years as you had me fucking um going through mistreatment or worse. And by worse, I mean because you're not stopping. You're not stopping. And obviously, in order for you to stop, I got to treat you like a fucking villain from a movie. You know, dead it. And technically, from what I hear, that you've been killing people anyway on the Lizzo. So I just feel like it's justified. So yeah. And again, the governor of New Jersey is German. Is a German ambassador. So I'm just like, bro, did you like I don't know have like tea and biscuits with your homies or something like that? All right, so hold on, no, in Germany, what is it? Schnitzels or something like that. I don't know, but like what schnitzels and cocaine or like what in cocoa? Like what did you have vodka? Like what did you have with these people? Oh boy. It's like the tinted window cars. They love to drive by. Um, Insanity. So yeah, during the 12 years of the Third Reich, Nazi officials and organizations per, perpetrated public humiliations of individuals in Germany and Nazi-occupied countries. The Nazis singled out Jews and other victims who violated racial laws as targets for humiliation. For example, Jewish men often had their beards forcibly shaved and endured physical punishment. I'm being surveillance, and they've been making fun of me with like memes and things like that nature, taunting me, triangulating information at workplace, or just on the road randomly, hyper criticizing me, doing nasty things to my food, and then laughing about it. And again, the white women that get off on this, or the non-blacks that get off on this, they especially, delight themselves in reliving moments that their ancestors had lived, or just feeling any type of like, superiority complex that's going on with them. It's just like it's crazy because like, you didn't learn your lesson. You're making it seem justified that they treated you this way, that they treated, your ancestors this way. It seems like, the history was valid. And yet here you guys are still making commercials where you're trying to get empathy and sympathy for being, targeted. But yet you're doing this kind of shit. So it's just like it's kind of falling on deaf ears when you're trying to make yourselves a victim, and yet you're displaying the same kind of abuse to me and potentially other people in the future. How the fuck you coming? You look like a fucking hypocrite. In fact, no, you look worse than that. But it's insane. It's insane. 1933 to 1945. That's 12 years. I've been abused for over 12 years. When you try to weaponize and abuse religion, trying to tell me to be patient and wait and stuff like that, it's just like no, no. By doing that, by saying be patient and wait, you're saying it under the hope that I'm going to give you the same kind of energy and stuff like that, or even an nth of it. You're willing to breadcrumb yourself for me to be complacent about the abuse that you're giving me. And you'll never get the old me back. You will never get the old me back. I guarantee you. So I don't want to be in your fucking company, and I don't want to ally with you and all that other kind of stuff. Seriously, go kill yourselves. The only thing I wanted to do was give information to the people who obviously will need it or need it. And none of those are my abusers or the people who support my abusers and will eventually become or are my abusers too. Okay, so that is it, I believe. Hold on, let me just see how much for right now, because again, I'm like, yeah, this shit is just dumb and it's over. I'm like, you could have been the woman who fixed another woman's crown. And that's what I was trying to do. But you were the person who wanted to, tell the world that it was crooked. Like you wanted to knock my crown and then point at me in front of a whole bunch of people and be like, look, her crown's crooked. I'm the better person. That was your energy. That was my abuser's energy. Sick. Meanwhile, I'm over here seeing your crown crooked and I'm over here trying to fix it for you or keep it up for you. Disgusting. But then, I'm having a life. So I'm over here worrying about, my crown and my responsibilities and things like that. And you become jealous because you don't have access to me as much as you once had. That's sick. Sick. Look at this. Look at this shit. This is in 2001. This dude, Stronger, Fairer, Forward. Lies and deceptions. Like I'm telling you, they benefited off of New Jersey was the crap of the nation. I honestly don't know why, but I can imagine so right now. But look at them. They're the hosts. New York, are you ready? The FIFA World Cup is coming to New York, New Jersey in 2026, celebrating alongside New York City. They got benefits. Even the town. And here's the kid who is in the human zoo. He's smiling and he's straight, being just. And here's Anne Frank, who's smiling, and she was seemed like a delightful young girl. But it's just like, bro, like. Here she is, just smiling and not smiling, and then smiling and just being regular. But it's just like, yeah, you don't have the authority over me. You're gonna criticize me, and you're gonna look like a fucking fool every single fucking time because I don't owe you shit. When it comes to, why don't you smile more and stuff like that? That's very creepy and perverted. It's like when you see a woman walk across the street, just smile. Fuck you. I'm not gonna do what you said. And there's so many women who are so insecure and competitive that they want to try to humble me. And it's just like, bitch, you look so pathetic. You look so fucking pathetic. And then you wonder why relationships aren't that fucking strong now. Because you're over here it's the way you're acting. It's insane. That's insanity. Yo, bro. Things would have been so much different. Things could have been so much different, but you decided to just go back in the times and just be a fucking lady. Now she over here, I don't think that she's being the kind of person who's this is why I put this trust no bitch, because that's not the way I am. I do not, during mediation, I do not believe that I'm going to be we're gonna be friends again. Accept rejection, okay? I don't have to be your friend. I don't want to be your friend. Go fuck yourself. And now she's probably somewhere gonna she's gonna hurt herself. She's a victim. Da 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 da. Nah, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. You know exactly what you've done. You've been doing it for you've been doing it for decades. Get out of here. This really is something that is actually possible. I have been I forgot to show you guys a picture of me where I had won the science project one. I have to find that. But you can also, like I said, you can go to the main library. It's downtown. And if you look in the New Jersey Times or something like that, you could find, ooh, pardon me. Like seriously, pardon me. Videos of hold on, perdóname. Sorry, that's so random. So random. But I like that song, so I'm not gonna regret it. Perdóname. I like this song. I'm actually gonna probably play it later. Hey, 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 hey. Aw, I don't have it. That's when I have it. I mean, I know I have it, but I don't think I have it on the phone. God damn it. I wanted to save space on the phone. But anyway, I have a video of me taking like footage from the library in regards to me winning the science product. It was just proof that I have an affinity for science, and I really do enjoy it. Like science is awesome because it's everywhere. People say math is everywhere, and like math is everywhere, and like you're gonna need it. And I'm just like, I mean, yeah, but like science is science. Like science is cool. Okay, science is awesome. Science was mistaken at one point for magic, and it's just like it's science. It's natural, and sometimes it's unexplainable because we have not yet been able to ascertain the materials or answers of unexplainable phenomena. And sometimes we may never, but science is just amazing because it's science. I like science. I love science. Oh my gosh. Maybe like such fascinating things. Oh my goodness. Ah, my boobies are hard. Like seriously. Like yeah. And I mean, like, not like the creepy science. I mean, it's really nice to know how like our body works, but I just like learning about science like outwardly. Like when I was a kid, like that's what I would do. When I wasn't taking care of people and I was, subjected to just being inside the house, I would just kind of read books and just kind of mess around with just like reading and experimenting. And just making things around the house because at the point I was like an only child, or later on when I started having siblings, I was just kind of like taking care of them, but then just being like, okay, well, hey, let me make you something, and it's just I really, yeah, it's. Uh, I've maintained my interest in science, but into my adult years, but I definitely have not been nowhere near as into it as probably since I realized, definitely a little bit before, definitely, yeah, a bit before I realized exactly what was been going on. Anyway, how did I even go on? I was wondering, almost wondering, like, how did I even get to that point? But I like this. I thought this was cool. So here's how this mind controlled wheelchair works. So it's not impossible for somebody to interpret messages through brain through waves. I mean, obviously, how else do you think that Bluetooth works and Wi-Fi, things of that nature? There are waves that we're not seeing, and there's transmission going on. So when you hear things from the radio with the satellites and communications through with animals and things of that nature with antennas and antennas, like and sonar with whales and things of that nature. Sorry, it's like it's getting really bright. But yeah, things of that nature makes science kind of cool and awesome. So it's not unfathomable to believe that okay, somebody can literally get what we're thinking and put it on to and then boom, there's an advertisement for I don't know, pizza rolls. If you're thinking about pizza rolls, oh, I'm really hungry, then all of a sudden there's a pizza roller coming in because this thing is picking up Bluetooth, this thing is picking up Wi-Fi, this thing is an instrument that has a cellular connection, a ping that's getting it from the satellite and able to get from here, and it can actually pick up like exactly like what your desires are, or anything, things of that nature. It's really cool and fascinating. Like it's not it's not too far stretched. Like that's something that's actually possible if it's not probably already happening. And I'm pretty sure that there are documented inventions because once you actually make something, it has to be reported into the U.S. Patent Office. And there's some things that are um, that aren't that are like what is it, like highly classified. So some things may not be, or it'll just probably be like something like really broad, obviously, because if that was the case, then our enemies overseas would be able to have access to it. So there's some things that would a lot of things would be available and accessible in like patent office, but it would probably more than likely it would be something broad where it would be coded where the other information is more deeply like classified behind a vault privately, so that way it won't be like infiltrated or mimicked by the opposition. So but yeah, like I just think that that stuff is pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna go. Obviously, I've talked enough and I have other things to do, but this is enough substantial information to say that I'm not expecting people to suddenly care because like you've always known that I've been innocent, but this is the information for people that are up and coming adults to know because yeah, this is how your parents are, this is how your friends are, this is how the community is, this is how businesses are. And we're cool with this, with going back into time and just being fucking racist. And it doesn't matter if you are a criminal or innocent and you have a clean record, they will try to find a way to not only humiliate you but abuse you. And it doesn't even matter if they grew up going through hard times themselves or have a history of hard times, they will still fuck you over. And that's what I want to say. So I'm not one of them, and I like to exclude myself from the opposition where it says like people who are oppressed or would want to try to go ahead and oppress others, but it's just like nah. I stand for justice. I stand for equality. I'm always the whole like it's about balance. It's about tit for tat. Like it's not where it needs to be tit for tat, eye for an eye, but it needs to be like it's not eye for eye where it needs to be exactly the same, but definitely to the point where there's no room for error, where it's just like you definitely got what you deserve. Okay, you're not getting off lightly, and it's not even. I don't even want. I don't even want the punishment that these people deserve to be measured or examined by the people that benefited off of my abuse because they're gonna go easy on my abusers, and I don't want that. Give them the full fucking extent. Yeah, and I don't even want them to judge like if it was me, because nah, bitch, you're either a pussy or you're lying and you were an abuser too. Where it's like I would have just let them go. No, no, no. These people definitely deserve their comeuppance. And you don't have to like try to be like, oh my god, well she's a horrible person. Well then yeah, then she's a bad Christian. No, I'm not. Definitely compared to you guys, I am definitely not. But I'm also not a person that's going to take shit. And a lot of the things that have been done to me has been historically done to other people, and they have gotten far fucking worse. So yeah, justice, ASAP. Fuck you guys when it comes to waiting because I see through all that bullshit. And there's no religious quote or anything like that that can uh, deter or dissuade me or other people from thinking that okay, this shit is worth waiting for. Delayed justice delayed is justice denied. That time when hold on, what was it? Martin Luther King. Hold on. Martin Luther King Jr. Mm. So in these passages, he's explaining why he has rejected calls to wait on advancing civil rights. King makes the point who wish, and this was in the 1960s. The wait has almost most excuse me. The wait has almost always meant never. And these are fellow clergymen, further fellow people of God who are saying that, that's what is really creepy and total bullshit is when people are saying that they speak on behalf of God, or they're like, God is speaking through me or some shit like that. Like, that's such like cocky, not even cocky, but this is just like cock full of shit when they do that. You just be like, oh, whatever, bye, bitch. Like, I don't even say that. Like, come on now, ridiculous. That's insanity. But Letter from a Birmingham Jail by Martin Luther King. It's like, while confined here in the Birmingham City Jail, I came across your recent statement calling my present activities unwise and untimely. During slavery, they were called coons. During slavery, they were called coons. During the 1900s, they were just called, coons and sellouts. And just I don't know, stupid Negroes, like just in the 1900s. And now here we are. Like, I don't know, what would you guys identify, or how do you guys identify yourselves now? I'm pretty sure you're trying to like touch yourselves like in a certain type of way where it's just like, oh, we're like amazing. If I sought to answer all the criticisms that crossed my desk, my secretaries would have little time for anything other than such correspondence in the course of the day, and I would have no time for constructive work, which is why I ignore a lot of this shit. But I just wanted to put this out because a lot of people right now are trying to save face, and it's doing nothing but delaying justice, and also further making shit worse universally. But since I feel that you are men of genuine goodwill and that your criticisms are sincerely set forth, I want to try to answer your statement in what I hope will be patient and reasonable terms. I think I should indicate why I'm here in Birmingham since you have been influenced by the view. It's always what they say. It's always what looking ass people. I don't care if you're a man of God or anything like that. It's always what looking ass people happen to observe and then want to try to minimize your situation. Your fellow clergyman, this white clergyman. So you're trying to minimize what fucking black people are going through. But you're using God to manipulate a man of God and saying, well, I don't think that, this is very untimely and this is, just not, I don't think God would approve of this. Here, well, I had the honor of serving as president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, an organization operating in every southern state with headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. We have some 85 affiliated organizations across the South. I am in Birmingham because injustice is here. Just as the prophets of the 8th century BC left their villages and carried their "Thus saith the Lord" far beyond the boundaries of their hometowns, and just as the Apostle Paul left his village of Tarsus and carried the gospel of Jesus Christ to the far corners of the Greco-Roman world, so am I compelled to carry the gospel of freedom beyond my own hometown. Like Paul, I must constantly respond to the Macedonian call for aid. Moreover, I am cognizant of the interrelatedness of all communities and states. I cannot sit idly by in Atlanta and not be concerned about what happens in Birmingham. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Never again can we afford to live with a narrow. Okay, hold on. So yeah, basically they're these people, the white clergymen, are looking at protests and the matters in which they are against being mistreated and abused as deplorable. This is some shit, bro. So they're saying, like, you should just kind of wait for justice to happen. You just wait and be patient on the Lord. Things like this can actually, things will turn around for you. That shit still happens today, where I got people who are Hispanic, Black, non-Black, saying some shit to me, like, yo, minorities is wild. You deplore the demonstrations taking place in Birmingham, but your statement, I am sorry to say, fails to express a similar concern for the conditions that brought about the demonstrations. I am sure that none of you will want to rest content with the superficial kind of social analysis that deals merely with effects and does not grapple with underlying causes. It is unfortunate that demonstrations are taking place in Birmingham, but it's even more unfortunate that the city's white power structure left the Negro community with no alternative. So get the fuck out of my face when it comes to that bullshit, yo. I swear to God. Yo. It's bad enough that this man is in fucking prison for non-violent reasons, that y'all still sit up there on y'all perch or whatever it is that you felt protected to say some stupid ass bullshit like, how dare you? Bitch, please go suck a fucking dirty one. I swear to God. Because it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. And best believe we will definitely be those ones that will. So being lynched, being segregated, being ostracized, not having equal rights and stuff like that. And you're just like, oh no, that's bad. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Y'all were not saying any of that shit when y'all was over here in y'all fields trying to get fucking favor and opportunity. But y'all always want to cry. Y'all always want to cry when it's us. Y'all always want to cry when it's us. This is the Haitian war. Y'all always want to cry when it's us. But when it's you, public toilet sick bitches, I swear to God, y'all want to start talking about, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's just crazy. And it's really sick when people of my fucking color want to go ahead and ally with them because they believe that, oh, if we ally with them, if we be their coons, then, we will get favor. And not just that, but you guys like being abusive to your own kind too. So it's just like, yo, it's crazy. It's really fucking crazy. Definitely, I'll be like really like acknowledging the situations just like this. I'll just be sitting like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I struggle between these two parallels. I struggle between these two fucking parallels. Okay? For real. You see things like this. A girl can't even go to the fucking school without, like this is shit is like, yo. It's just like, how dare you? Peaceful protest? No wonder why we enslaved you. Like, what the fuck, bitch? Oh my God, like you guys are just so unfucking they don't. Like it's crazy. And modern day Black people have just literally just shaking their ass and just, accommodating, like, yeah. That's okay for us. Until it's them. Until it's the Black people that are getting like the shit out of the stick. Then it's like, hold up. This ain't right. Like, y'all, it's crazy. Men and women. Y'all are okay with doing this. It's like it never stopped. It hasn't stopped. Just the clothes that are different, and we got technology. And if you're wondering how this has all gotten about, again, David's dad was a county investigator up until, first he was a fire investigator, and then he graduated to a county investigator from the benefits of exploiting me. And so now they have like this huge house. They have multiple houses, huge property, and things of that nature. But they didn't before. They really didn't. He had a modest living home, and I was over here like, they used to like have like multiple like little side businesses and stuff like that. But yeah, no. Now it's like now they had their riches off of being abusive and exploiting and being sellouts. Marlon worked as a county investigator for Mercer County and then had a reported pay of $100,000. Yeah, but that, of course, that wasn't good enough. Now he's a CEO, chief servant to a charity, among other private dealings in the background. This is him. This is David's adopted father. That's him. Again, like, yo, tell me what it is that you think that, goodness. Why is it not working? Okay, so yeah, and here he is here. Do you see the adopted father? And there is David. So yeah, they had a modest fucking home. And now they're all like, as you can see, living it up off of my exploits. Ooh, baby, look at this. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at this. Hold on. Excuse me. Do you see this? It's not moving up anymore. It's not moving up anymore. So they decided to like he decided to not. Wow. He decided to hide his information. Interesting. Interesting. But you know what? You know what? I do have screenshots. I not only have screenshots, but I also believe I have video recordings too. And because I do have video recordings, I have the thing now where, like I said, like I have the moment where it shows like, okay, the what is it? The properties and stuff like that. Yeah, the properties. So it tells you like exactly like if it's been edited, if it's not been edited, but this hasn't been edited. This hasn't been edited. So it's gonna show you like the full thing of like what he had put down about like him and his drug problem and things of that nature. And I also have downloaded my own history of my Facebook and stuff like that, just in case, because I don't trust people for shit. So we can see exactly like how everything just like the whole kit and caboodle. The whole kit and caboodle. All right, I gotta go. As you can see, it's getting like super dark and I have things to do. But yeah, all right.